The grand estate of Victor Davenport, one of the city's wealthiest men, stood like a palace against the skyline. Every detail, from the marble pillars to the gold-lined fountains, spoke of power and prestige. But within those walls lived a secret no amount of wealth could hide. Victor's 8-year-old daughter, Elena, had been blind since birth, or so everyone believed. Victor doted on her, protecting her fiercely. He hired tutors to teach her through touch and sound. He spared no expense on medical consultations. But despite his billions, there was nothing he could buy to restore her sight, or so he thought. Every evening, the mansion's newest maid, Marisol Reyes, watched Elena with quiet fascination. A widow from the Philippines, Marisol had come seeking work to support her teenage son back home. She was kind, patient, and unnoticed, qualities that let her observe what others missed. One afternoon, while dusting near the library, she froze. Elena sat cross-legged on the carpet, humming softly. In her hands was a book, not a braille book, but a children's storybook filled with colorful pictures. And Elena was staring at it. Marisol's breath caught. She thought her mind was playing tricks. But then Elena's small finger traced an image of a rabbit, and she whispered, "Bunny." Marisol's heart pounded. Could it be? Had this child been misdiagnosed? Or worse, had someone lied? Later that night, Marisol tucked Elena into bed, whispering, "Do you like stories, sweetheart?" "Yes," Elena replied softly. "But Daddy says not to tell anyone I can see. It makes him sad." The maid's knees nearly buckled. She forced a smile, kissed the girl's forehead, and excused herself. But inside, she was trembling. Marisol couldn't sleep. Elena's words replayed in her mind. "Daddy says not to tell anyone I can see." The next morning, she quietly tested Elena again. While serving breakfast, she accidentally dropped a spoon. Elena's head turned instantly, her eyes following the spoon as it rolled. Later, in the garden, Marisol pointed to a butterfly fluttering past. Elena clapped her hands. "Blue wings!" she shouted with joy. There was no mistake. Elena could see. But why keep it a secret? That evening, Marisol lingered near Victor's study. Through the cracked door, she overheard him speaking to a doctor. "Keep sending the reports as we agreed." Victor's voice was stern. "My daughter is blind. Do you understand? Blind. No one must know otherwise." Marisol's hands shook. He wasn't misinformed. He was choosing this. But why would a father deliberately keep his child in darkness? The answer came sooner than expected. One night, Elena confided, "Daddy says people will only love me if I need them, that if I can see, they won't care anymore. He says being blind keeps me safe." Marisol's chest burned with rage and sorrow. This wasn't protection. This was control. Elena wasn't living. She was imprisoned in a lie. The maid made a silent vow. She would help Elena discover freedom. Step by step, she began teaching the girl things her father forbade. She brought crayons, encouraging Elena to draw the things she saw. She described colors, shapes, the sky at sunset. Elena blossomed, her laughter brighter, her confidence growing. But secrets have a way of surfacing. And when Victor noticed the drawings one evening, his face darkened. "Elena!" he barked, tearing the paper from her hands. "Who told you to do this?" The little girl froze, tears brimming. I just wanted to." Victor's gaze shot to Marisol. His voice was ice. A maid does not meddle in family matters." For the first time, Marisol met his fury without flinching. "She deserves the truth." Silence fell. For a moment, even Victor seemed rattled. But then his expression hardened, and he dismissed her coldly. Yet Marisol knew. She couldn't stop now. The truth was too big, too dangerous to ignore. Victor doubled down after that confrontation. He banned Marisol from spending time alone with Elena. He restricted Elena's movements even more, surrounding her with caregivers who enforced the blindness narrative. But Victor had underestimated one thing: the bond between Elena and Marisol. The girl trusted the maid more than anyone. Late at night, Elena would sneak into the kitchen where Marisol worked overtime. They whispered in hushed voices, planning small rebellions. "Do you want to see the world, Elena?" Marisol asked one night. "Yes," Elena whispered fiercely. "I don't want to pretend anymore." Marisol's heart swelled. "Then we'll find a way." Opportunity came when Victor hosted a lavish Christmas gala at the mansion. Politicians, businessmen, and foreign dignitaries filled the estate. Cameras flashed, champagne flowed, and Victor paraded Elena around as his precious blind daughter, earning pity and admiration. But Elena, brave beyond her years, slipped her hand into Marisol's. "Tonight," she whispered, "I'll show them." As the orchestra played, Elena climbed onto the stage. The room hushed. Guests turned, expecting a touching moment. A blind girl perhaps reciting a memorized line. Instead, Elena opened her eyes wide and pointed to the towering Christmas tree behind her. "The lights are so beautiful, red and green and gold." Gasps erupted. Murmurs swept the crowd. Cameras zoomed in. Victor's face went pale. He rushed forward, trying to hush her, but it was too late. "She can see," someone cried. "She's not blind." Reporters swarmed, questions flying. Victor's carefully constructed image collapsed in seconds. And there, standing strong beside Elena, was Marisol. Her hand rested protectively on the girl's shoulder as she declared, "Yes, she can see, and she deserves a life free of lies." The room erupted in chaos. Victor's empire of sympathy crumbled before his eyes. The fallout was immediate. News outlets ran the story. Millionaire lies about daughter's blindness. Victor's reputation shattered. Investors pulled away. Charities that once praised him cut ties. But none of that compared to the pain in Elena's voice when she confronted him. "Why, Daddy?" she sobbed. "Why didn't you let me be me?" Victor, a man feared in boardrooms, crumbled under his daughter's tears. His voice broke. "Because I was scared. Scared to lose you. After your mother died, I thought, if people pitied us, they'd stay close. I couldn't bear more loss." Elena's small hands trembled. "But you lost me anyway. Every time I had to pretend." The truth pierced deeper than any scandal. For the first time, Victor realized his wealth had blinded him more than any illness could. Marisol stood silently, watching father and daughter. She could have walked away, her job, her safety, all in ruins. But compassion held her steady. "Mr. Davenport," she said softly, "love doesn't come from pity. It comes from truth. If you want Elena to stay in your life, give her freedom. Give her trust." Victor looked at her. This maid who had dared to defy him, expose him, and yet stand here offering wisdom instead of scorn. And for the first time, humility entered his proud eyes. "I don't deserve forgiveness," he whispered. "No," Marisol agreed gently, "but you can earn it." From that day forward, Victor changed. He let Elena enroll in a real school, where she thrived. He supported causes for children with disabilities, not for sympathy, but for empowerment. And he gave Marisol more than a salary. He gave her respect, calling her not just a maid, but family. Years later, Elena would stand on another stage, not at a gala, but at her graduation. With Marisol in the front row and Victor cheering louder than anyone, she delivered a speech that silenced the crowd. "My father once thought I was blind, but the truth is, blindness isn't about eyes. It's about refusing to see what's right in front of you. Thanks to someone brave enough to tell me the truth, I see everything clearly now, and I will live my life in light." Tears streamed down Victor's face. For the first time, he truly understood wealth wasn't measured in numbers, but in second chances.